the News Channel 5 network, this is MorningLine with Nick Barris.
Good morning and welcome to MorningLine. I'm Matthew Torres in for Nick Barris today. All right, for all you homeowners out there, property owners, you definitely want to tune in. And if you have any questions, feel free to call the number on your screen. We will be discussing the reappraisal process in Metro Davidson County, which of course, this is something that happens now that it is mandated by law in 2017. And so we will have our guest with us today, the property assessor for Davidson County, Vivian Wilhoite. And so this, of course, if you have any question, again, the number is there on your screen, will be 615-737+. And so just to give you guys some background information, this is to ensure property owners here in the county that everyone is paying only what is fair when it comes to property taxes. I know when people hear about taxes, when they talk about property taxes, they almost start sweating bullets. But there is a process, especially when it comes to just the appraisal process and whether or not you don't agree with the number for this. So again, we do have property assessor with us, Vivian Wilhoite. So just one more thing to send to people out there. The increase actually as recent as last year was that there was a 37% increase, and Vivian is joining us. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
And good morning to the viewing audience. Hello.
Definitely. So I am not a homeowner, but I am approaching this as well as someone who wants to learn more. I'm sure a lot of people there already know some things, but just explain the process and why it is required. I kind of briefly mentioned it earlier.
Absolutely. Well, you know, the reappraisal is designed to be performed in our county every 4 years. Some counties do 5 years, some do 6 years, but every 4 years by law we do the reappraisal of the property in order to ensure that there is a reestablishing of the equity in reference to being fair in reference to valuation. And as a result of the reappraisal, the metro government or local government cannot incur windfall. So we have to reestablish the equity in the county and to make it whereas we are not incurring a windfall as a result of the reappraisal. So basically it's to reestablish equity.
All right, Vivian, we actually already have a caller.
Oh wow, good, good.
So, all right, thank you for calling. Good morning to you. What is your question? Hello, are you there? Hey, Joe, are you there? All right, we will try to get to Joe in just a bit.
Sure.
So what were the findings, the result of the last process?
Oh, well, what it has, as a result of the 2017 reappraisal, we have found that for the first time since 2000, commercial values, assessed values, has increased or exceeded residential assessed value. Commercial assessed value is $14.3 billion, and residential assessed value is $14 billion. So with that being said, for the first time since 2000, the commercial values in reference to properties is carrying the burden of the tax load, and that's a good thing. That says that we have growth that's going on in Nashville, and that's a really, really good thing. As also a result of the 2017 reappraisal, property values over the last 4 years has increased overall medium increase of 37%. That says that, you know, Nashville, that's the highest in Davidson County history, and it says that the market of real estate is really good, and that we are coming right along in reference to value. So those are two of the really critical findings.
So those are just the signs that obviously the city is still hot.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
Why is it that commercial, the angle has exceeded?
Well, when you think about growth, as you can see, our new city bird is the crane, and that's where a lot of the growth is occurring, much of it. And so with that point, that's the reason why you're seeing commercial values increase even more. And that is again a sign that the city is growing.
Now, when you have the appraisal increase of 37%, does that technically mean just the value, the property values
that's exactly right.
Better.
That's exactly right. That means that the values of the properties have increased over a 4-year period by 37%. Even though that is the countywide medium increase. The good news is that if your increase is less than the 37%, a person would be paying less in property taxes.
So that's what I was going to ask you.
And the person that has a higher,
translate to the property taxes lower property taxes?
Well, you know, I like to just say in our office, just to understand what we exactly do, we provide the valuation. We provide the value of commercial and residential properties in Davidson County. We're not the tax assessors, which is the reason why we do not carry that title any longer. We are the property assessors, so we provide the values. So part of the equation is to ultimately get to what your taxes could be, has to do with valuation, and that's the part where we start. So we take a look at all the values all over Davidson County, doing a reappraisal. We take a look at all the properties, correction, in Davidson County, and we began to use either the sales approach, the income approach, or the cost approach in order to arrive at the value for that particular property. And as a result of looking at those three nationally known approaches, we provide a value to the property owner, and as a result of that value, then the property owner would pay a portion of that value on taxes.
All right, Vivian, let's go back to the lines.
Sure.
I believe we do have Joe. Hey, Joe, good morning. What's your question?
I don't have I have a comment, really,
Okay.
rather than a question.
Okay.
I understand the reappraisals and taxes. What I'm disappointed about is giving $1 million to HCA to buy furniture with. I think we could have used that money more to help out with the taxes than we could giving it away.
Well, the way I would answer that, Joe, is in our office, we do not make the decisions where money is applied and what is designated in reference to purchases. As a former council person, those decisions are made by the Metro Council, and of course you can express your concern with them.
Yeah, and Joe was referring to an investigation by Ben Hall, a recent investigation that's obviously on the website. Now, what is, I've been hearing this term as well, quote, certified tax rate.
Yes. Yes, very good
another term with taxes in it, but what is that technically, and I guess how does that work with the mayor's office? You
know, technically that is the only time that the property assessor get involved in reference to a tax rate. And the certified tax rate is a tax rate that's provided to us by the state of Tennessee when our office provides them with data. The state of Tennessee arrives at a certified tax rate for local government in order to ensure that we do not incur a windfall as a result of the reappraisal. The certified tax rate is approved by the mayor and confirmed by the council, and as a result of it, it is again the beginning approach to reestablish equity. That is what the certified tax rate actually does for the county or for the city. And as a result of that, then of course the council and the mayor, they take a look at that certified tax rate and decide if it's enough in order to pay for their operations or any type of programs or projects that they have that's coming up in the future. And they can make a decision whether they want to raise that certified tax rate or not raise it for that matter, or reduce it for that matter. And of course, in 2017, it was that they decided not to do that.
Why?
In reference to, don't know necessarily why. I believe that possibly they felt that it would meet their obligations. That's a question you would have to ask them. But of course, we cannot get a windfall as a result of the reappraisal. That cannot happen. But they do have the choice to raise that certified tax rate if they so choose.
You mentioned the term windfall. For those who are watching, what is the term?
Windfall is getting extra money on existing construction. You cannot receive by law additional revenues on existing construction as a result of the reappraisal. So the certified tax, so the tax rate is adjusted, which becomes the certified tax rate. It went from 4.516 to 3.155 per $100 for those who are living in the urban service district. And as a result of that, that is the way to reestablish the equity when you want people to not be paying more than their fair share. And of course, moving from that, you can go to what is called the tax rate if it is changed, or after that it becomes just a tax rate going forward.
I must say, all these numbers and crunching that you have to do is quite impressive.
Yeah, well, you know, we have a very impressive organization. The staff is of 75 to 80 individuals who are certified in their fields, which of our appraisers. We have the deputy assessors that are certified in the area in reference to looking at residential property and commercial property. They're outstanding. They really take a serious approach when it comes to doing their job, and I'm very proud and pleased to be leader of that organization. It's wonderful.
Do you have any folks who are just kind of, it's that time? It's that time. We got appraisers out here. We got the notice in the mail. Yes. Do you just kind of, I don't want to say backlash, that seems to be strong of a word, but a pretty strong reaction.
Well, yes, of course. And you know, the property owner has the right in order to take a look at their value and try to question it. But our office is extremely transparent, and we provide to them the opportunity to appeal those values. They begin with the opportunity to appeal those values in the informal review. That is where we take a second look at the property owner's the layout of the improvement and the land, and they provide us the information that is needed that we are not aware of in order for us to adjust our decision. And then after that, they have the formal review, the formal appeal, which we're now in that period right now.
I want you to hold off on the actual appeal process, because I'd love to discuss that more in detail. But I do want to go back to the lines. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for calling. What's your question?
Yeah, so if I disagree with my valuation placed on my property, is the opportunity over to appeal it right now?
Well, Stephanie, no, it's not. Your opportunity is in perfect timing. You have until June the 22nd by 4 p.m. to appeal your value to the Metro Board of Equalization. It is an independent board. That is your second opportunity, and you can provide your appeal to either the 5 board member or either to the hearing officers that are under their jurisdiction. So you have that opportunity right now until June the 22nd by 4 p.m. So we will look forward to hearing from you, and of course for you to establish your appeal hearing.
All right, and you heard it from Vivian and myself. We will be discussing more about the appeal process, then the review. If you do have any questions, make sure to call the number on your screen, 615-737+. We'll have much more after the break.